Hi everyone. As y'all all probably saw on Instagram recently, I said I had a very important announcement to make, and as you're seeing now from the title of this video, that is that Allison is stepping up to join us in leadership for Simple Saturday. So to some of you this might not come as any sort of shock or surprise. She's been very present in pretty much all of the videos we've put out recently. So yeah, it should feel pretty gradual. She's already been helping me for quite some time. But the reason for her stepping up and helping me lead is just that I feel like God has called me to be more of like a visionary for this ministry, and then I tend to also be more like back end in terms of like just praying and asking God what's going on and seeking vision, and then like doing more of the editing and uploading and stuff like that. And as we're stepping into this new season, in terms of being more virtual, God just started to make it really clear to me, like, hey, you need to bring someone up to come alongside you who's really gonna care about people's hearts and know how to minister to people's hearts as we're becoming more virtual, because it's really important to like make sure people still feel connected and still feel really loved, even though we're doing stuff on this virtual platform now. Yeah, and especially because some of you may have seen in a poll I posted on Instagram recently too, we've been considering starting this option, which we're pretty excited about, I guess, with this idea where like, hey, if people are struggling to receive fellowship from their home churches, we want to provide an option for them to receive some virtual counseling. So we want to like be able to do that for people over video chat and just talk to them about what's going on and what problems they're facing at their home churches, and hopefully give them some helpful advice, but also mostly just listen to them and hear them out if they're not getting heard out elsewhere. So as we started, I guess just God and I started dreaming about that, the Lord was letting me know, like, hey, Allison is the perfect person to bring into this, because she's a really good listener and she really cares about people's hearts. And I've been friends with her for like 6 or 7 years at this point, and I've seen that in her for a very long time. And ever since we started Simple Saturday like a year ago, she's just championed this project so much and helped me in so many ways. And so even just by being an encouragement to me. So yeah, we're really excited about bringing her on. Again, this is probably not a shock to any of you. She's helped me so much. It shouldn't be a surprise. I know, like, some of you, even in like messages you've sent me or things, have already been like, oh, you guys like are doing a great job, like you and Allison are such anointed leaders, like have sent all these kinds of messages, and it's like, yeah. So it's already felt that way, I think, to a lot of you, which has been encouraging. Yeah, I don't know if you had anything you wanted to add with that, but
yeah,
we're just excited. So
yeah, I mean, this is something that I don't know, I know that just for me personally, I've gotten just a lot more passionate about prayer and my prayer life, and it's just become something that it's just a huge part of my life. And I'm still working on just like being able to show that, especially over this medium. I think it's very different for me. It's very out of my comfort zone, so
I think it's very different for everyone,
right?
For sure.
I mean,
it's an adjustment.
I appreciate everyone's patience. Like, you guys have been great as we've kind of navigated all of this.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, and especially with what Aaron was talking about, like this new kind of idea to do this like virtual counseling,
right? Which we will be officially launching next month, by the way, because we both need to like pray into some more stuff and figure out some more things before we totally launch that and decide what kind of tools we want to use. But yeah, continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was pretty much it. It was just that, like, yeah, it's an exciting time. So
Yeah, cool.
I appreciate everyone who's watched and who's supported.
Yeah. So I know there's been, honestly, just a ton of changes in the past few months. Really, since we switched over to being virtual, it was like, hey, we're virtual, so plug into your home churches more. And then, like, hey, like, all the stuff with George Floyd happened, and we're like, oh, we're going to talk about racism a lot. And also, hey, we're going to launch a thing for you to maybe receive counseling if you want to. And now Allison is also leading. So it's just like a lot of like, oh, here's some really big announcements in the past few months.
It's been one thing after another.
So that may also feel like a lot. Don't worry, please know we have your best interests at heart. And I really try to pray into like what's best for the people who watch these videos and who, honestly, just devote any time to paying any attention to our tiny ministry. So, thank you, all of you, for your patience with us. We're just really excited to see what unfolds, and I'm just excited to finally announce that Allison is stepping up and leading.
Yeah.
It's really felt like she has been for a while. What else with that? Oh, I was gonna talk just a little bit about our friendship, just because it's fun, and this is one of my favorite stories to tell, honestly. But probably like I said, like 7 years ago, I guess, so our senior year of high school, I actually met Allison this one day, like the first day of our senior year, because she was in the guidance counselor's office getting her schedule changed, or just getting her schedule for the year, I guess, and I was there getting some like small class change or whatever. And I'm kind of a bizarre person and I tend to pretty much just know when I see someone that I want to be friends with them. Like if I end up being really close friends with them, I usually just know. Either when I the first thing that I hear about them, or like the first time I see them or talk to them, I'm just like, oh, I'm going to be their friend, if I end up being close friends with someone. And so I like saw Allison in the guidance counselor's office this day, and she's just getting her schedule changed, just like minding her own business, and I was just like, oh, like in my heart, like knew I was gonna be friends with her, and was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to meet you, and like grabbed her schedule out of her hand and was like, I want to see if we have any of the same classes. Like, I just, she doesn't know me. I haven't talked to her at all at this point. I didn't ask her what her name was. I was just like, I like literally didn't ask her what her name was. I was just like, I want to see what your classes are. And so I like saw we had a British literature class together, and I was like, okay, great. And in my heart was like, okay, cool, I'll talk to her again later. And that's like all the information I needed to know. And so we talked in Brit Lit, and I remember being really struck by the fact that I knew that she was a Christian. And it wasn't for any reason like she wasn't, wearing a cross necklace, and she wasn't like, I don't know. I don't think it would have been, I don't know, maybe it would have been obvious to some other people too, but for me it was just like, I literally remember she was wearing like you had like a Rolling Stones t-shirt that I think you still have. And and you were really just like soft-spoken and like gentle and kind, and to me, like, I don't think I would have expressed it in these exact words back then, but to me it was basically like, oh, this is very much just like being all things to all people, and like just like looked like really good like evangelism to me for some reason. I was like, oh, I know that she's a Christian. And so I remember going through a few like classes with you and just being like, okay, when can I finally just tell her that I know that she's a Christian and like I want to be her friend. And I also just happened to be church shopping kind of at the time, which I hate that term, but like, I was in high school, and so I had been going to my parents' church. I won't say the name of the church, but like I didn't loved the youth group and like wasn't feeling connected to people there and was like, I want to go to a different youth group basically. And so I guess I pretty much just point blank at one class, because I got really fed up with trying to figure out how I should say it to you. It was just like, hey, I know that you're a Christian, will you take me to your church?
Yeah.
Basically. And
Yeah.
like pretty much those exact words. And she was just like, sure, and was like kind about it because it's Allison. And that church ended up being SCC, Springs Community Church, which is the church that, like, the church I now go to was planted by SCC, All Nations Church in Whitefield. So, yeah. So yeah, pretty cool. She like led me to the church that I now go to, essentially. And Allison now goes to Discovery Church. Her fiance Tanner is the youth pastor there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, the rest is history pretty much. But no, yeah, I know that for me, like, I had just come out of like a really broken season when I first met Aaron, and the fact that like someone was just willing to just like come up to me and be so kind and welcoming, and I was just like, who is this sweet person? This doesn't exist anywhere. But I just felt instantly just so blessed by her. So
That's cool.
yeah, you're pretty cool. So I'm really excited to be just taking part in this with her. And I mean, this is your baby, you know. You've really
We just celebrated
grown
its
it.
first birthday.
Yeah. Yep, for
It's
sure.
my 1-year-old baby.
So it's some pretty cool stuff. But yeah, do you have anything else to add?
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, we're just excited. We're just stoked for what God is gonna do through this.
Yeah.
So
excited.
yeah, just please just celebrate with us. I don't know, let us know how we can encourage you guys and be a blessing to you guys. Definitely know we're praying for you, thinking about you. If there's other stuff you feel like you need, or even if you have ideas, honestly, for like, wanting the counseling stuff to look a certain way, feel free to like DM me on Instagram.
Absolutely.
Or Facebook Messenger, whatever. We won't like necessarily use those ideas, but I want to I want to hear your thoughts on stuff. It helps us know how to like direct things and run things, and this ministry wouldn't exist without you guys. So yeah.
No, feedback is really important, especially as, I mean, we're making such a huge step to kind of switch this whole thing to be like virtual. Feedback is key. So please, if you have anything, any suggestions, or any way we could be doing something differently or better, like, please let us know.
Let us know. Tell us we're wrong.
Yeah. Please do.
We love that.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to tell me I'm wrong. Maybe I'll cut that out. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll say that every single video and never cut anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love you guys. God bless you guys. We'll see you later. Bye.